Hey, what is up, guys? Flex Media here, bringing you yet another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. So real quick, as always, very important to check the news. I wanted to just go over just a couple things so you guys can see here. I mean, there are really only two new things we need to go over, but we are getting Android 13 next, and this was, I think this came out about 3 a.m. last night. I could be wrong, but that's usually when stuff comes out. So Android 13 is the next Dokkan Fest. And then, of course, this is his story. Well, this is the story mode, right, where we can get Android 14 and 15. These dudes are really, really good. They give you the ability to see super attacks. And then this guy also, he's just from the Baba Shop. He actually gets a decent awakening as well. So I do kind of want to real quick go over the units that we will be getting with this celebration. So be right back. Hey, what is up? So here we are. So this is Faux Elimination Circuit Android number 13. An interesting name change there. As you can see, the text has not yet been updated. That's all right, though. Not real important. But let's kind of go over him real quick. He's overall pretty solid, right? So he's the Target Goku, or Androids category leader at Key 3, 130 to HP, and then 170 to defense and attack, which seems to be much more common than the other way around, right? The HP 170. And then his super attack is the Deadly Crash, and it's going to cause immense damage and greatly lower defense with a medium chance to stun. So not terrible, right? He would certainly be a great addition to an Androids team. I think this Target Goku team, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. It's decent. You know, I mean, you can run some solid units on this. Obviously, like you've got LR Baby really comes to mind here, where you can actually get him on a 170% attack-led team. That's huge because LR Baby is mega powerful. So you could run him with him in like a pseudo Androids team. Sort of like an artificial life forms, you know, with a couple extra units. Like, I think LR Tech Broly is on Target Goku. So the team is not terrible. It's not terrible by any means. I do like the team. So, especially, like I said, with LR Baby, right? His passive skill is the Power of Animosity, and it is attack and defense 130%. Androids category allies get Key 2 and 30% to attack and defense. And then attacks are guaranteed to hit. Nice. You know, especially for something like Legendary Goku, right? And he transforms when conditions are met. His transformation conditions, he absorbs androids 14 and 15, their parts, and he transforms when there are 2 or more androids category allies on the team, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. To be honest, it's going to be hard to not meet these transformation conditions. You almost, you know, Target Goku's so limited, you're going to almost have to run some androids on your team. And, you know, also you'd want to run androids on your team because he's going to link up well with androids. So his links are Red Ribbon Army, which is obviously trash, and so is Android Assault, Metamorphosis, Big Bad Bosses, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, and Fierce Battle. He's on the Movie Bosses, Androids, Transformation Boost, Artificial Life Forms, and Target Goku team. And those are his max stats. Definitely decent, right? Definitely decent. So what I do want to go over, of course, is let's go over his transformed version. So this is the Fusion Android 13, and then we'll go over the rest here. So obviously his leader skill does not change. So now he is causing immense damage, massively lowering defense, and then keeping that medium chance to stun. So, you know, decent, I suppose. That massively lowering defense is good. That's an 80% reduction in defense. He's going to be an absolute just jackhammer for the Legendary Goku event. Let's go over the rest of him. Target Elimination is his new passive skill. Key 3, attack and defense 130, plus an additional attack and defense 13% per Target Goku category ally on the team. Again, those attacks being guaranteed to hit and disabling enemy's guard, and he's going to perform a critical hit when facing an enemy whose name includes Goku. So, you know, a couple of things here. So like I said, this attack's guaranteed to hit, and then a guaranteed crit versus Goku. Obviously, like I said, he's going to be amazing for the Legendary Goku event. And for stuff like Super Battle Road and stuff as well. There's a lot of Goku enemies, so he's pretty good. I mean, he's good. You know, he's not going to hit like insane attack stats, and that's just simply because his attack stat is low, right? So his links, do they change? He does get big bad boss. Did he have big bad bosses before? We'll check. But Red Ribbon Army, Android Assault, Metamorphosis, Big Bad Bosses, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, and Fierce Battle. And obviously his categories do not change. Let's check and see here. I am curious. So they don't change. Okay. I mean, that's fine. It's not a big deal. But anyway, guys, he is pretty good. He's the problem is his banner is not going to be very good unless they change it, which I would not anticipate. But I would not say he's worth summoning for. There's way too much hype things that are coming in the future. For instance, the 5-year anniversary. Actually, the unit that drops right after this guy, Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku, who I think I should probably make a full separate video on. He's going to be really good too, right? So I would honestly, I'd save your stones for that Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku. It's a double rates banner. I think that's going to be a wiser use of your stones. But we do have a couple more units that we need to go over. Okay, so this is actually, the next 2 cards we're going over are free-to-play units. So this dude comes from the Baba Shop, and I am definitely 100% rainbowing this guy. He's 100% worth it. We're going to go over why. But this is Cruel Android, Android number 13. Obviously, so okay. Also, I should point out that all of this stuff is probably dropping on April 1st. So today is the 31st. I think, is it the 30th or the 31st? 31st. It's probably dropping like tonight or tomorrow at like 3 in the morning. So anyway, his leader skill: Fizz type enemies attack minus 40%. You could have some fun with that on something like Super Battle Road or something. But his super attack is the SS Deadly Bomber, and he's going to raise attack and defense and cause supreme damage to the enemy. So obviously any unit that stacks is going to be really nice, right? Infinitely stacking that attack and defense. He's really good, guys. Let's go over the rest of him. His passive skill is Interlocked Data, and he's going to reduce damage received by 40% when key is 8 or more, which should not be a problem. On an Android's team, you should never ever run into key issues. That team is absolutely and utterly overflowing with key. So he's always going to be reducing damage by 40% while stacking attack and defense. That's just really good, right? So, attack and defense 130% when facing an enemy whose name includes Goku, Vegeta, or Trunks, plus an additional attack and defense 70% when your team has androids 14 and 15 attacking in the same turn, which obviously we're going to go over them next. But obviously you're going to want to run them on rotation. They're of course going to link up really well as well. You know, he would also link up pretty well with the EZA Fusion 13, right? Because you can't run him and the Dokkan Fest on the same team, unfortunately, because they have the same name. So unless, of course, you were running just a friend, so that I guess that could work out, right? But his links: Red Ribbon Army, Android Assault, Tough as Nails, Big Bad Bosses, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, and Shattering the Limit. And then, of course, his categories are Movie Bosses, Androids, Artificial Life Forms, Target Goku. And then his stats, you know, those are, you know, solid free-to-play stats, right? But, you know, this ability to infinitely stack attack and defense, he's just going to be so insanely good. And then not to mention the utility when you're going to link him up with this next unit we're going to go over. Which I guess, let's go ahead and we'll go over Androids 14 and 15 and we'll wrap up the video. Alright, so this is Vengeful Technology, Androids 14 and 15. These guys are really good. They have a really good ability, which we'll of course go over here. So, their leader skill is Target Goku, category key 3, and then 50% to stats. So, of course, you know, you could run a decent free-to-play Target Goku team, right? Their super attack is the Murder Combination, is going to cause supreme damage and then lower attack. Obviously going to be really nice. Any unit that can lower attack is pretty good. Their passive skill is Android Coordination, and that is attack and defense 70%, plus an additional attack and defense 70%, and foresees enemy super attack when your team has an Android 13 attacking in the same turn. all allies attack and defense 30% and reduces damage received by 30% when your team has Fusion Android 13 attacking in the same turn. So, okay, so kind of breaking that down, right? If you have, let's just say the free-to-play one, the free-to-play STR Android 13, and you're running just kind of like you could realistically just run an Androids team, and you could use the LR Androids, or you could use MVP 17, or of course Android 21 as your leader, and then you use a friend, Android 13, and then you could have a Fusion 13, and you could have just a normal Android 13, and they could all be on the same rotation. So you could really do some nice things with this, right? But them reducing damage by 30% is no small feat. Any unit that reduces damage, again, is going to be very, very useful, even in the difficult events. So, again, they're good. They're good. And then also this ability to foresee the super attack, if you run them one time on rotation with Android 13, unless it's some sort of glitch that they're going to fix, that's active for the rest of the phase or the rest of the event. So if you get this active, let's say in the Legendary Goku event, in just the first phase, the physical base Goku, it should be active all the way until Int UI Goku, which is really insane, right? Being able to see where he supers is like such a huge part. Knowing where he supers is just like a cheat code, right? I mean, it's a really, really nice ability. It's part of the reason why Dokkan Fest Piccolo is so good, right? Just being able to avoid super attacks with your weakest units is clutch. So, but these are the units. Actually, there is, now that I think about it, there's one more unit that is actually on the banner. It's a Trunks unit. So let's kind of go ahead and we'll go over Trunks real quick, and we'll wrap it up there. Okay, so this is Magnificent Swordsmanship Trunks Teen. Dokkan really, really loves Trunks. Trunks seems to get a new card every day on banner. We just got a new Trunks, so just something to point out, right? So let's go over him. So his leader skill, he's a new nuking leader, so he's the Fizz type attack plus 33% per Fizz key sphere obtained leader. So yeah, new nuking leader, right? So his super attack, he's going to massively raise attack for one turn and cause supreme damage to the enemy while sacrificing 5% HP. I have seen showcases of this dude where he can, hit above a 4 million attack stat. I mean, he can hit insanely hard, especially if you get that additional super attack. His passive skill is Prompt Action, and that is attack and defense 100%, plus an additional attack 100%, but defense minus 50% when performing a super attack, chance of performing a critical hit plus 7% with each attack received, up to 35%. So he's a prime candidate to give full additionals to, so you can get that massive raise in attack. And he has crits built right into his passive. Just obviously to point out, before he super attacks, he'll defend decently. But after he supers, you're going to want to avoid damage with him. But the whole point is he hits so damn hard that hopefully he kills the enemy in front of you, right? So he doesn't get hit. But his links are Royal Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Cold Judgment, Messenger from the Future, Prepared for Battle, and Fierce Battle. His categories: Hybrid Saiyans, Future Saga, Time Travelers, Vegeta's Family, Movie Heroes, Bond of Master and Disciple. So I think specifically this is a very, very nice addition to the Movie Heroes team. There really are there any Teen Trunks on the Movie Heroes team? I don't think so. So this guy would be the first. So I think that's obviously really, really solid. There's a ton of Trunks on the Future Saga Time Travelers and Vegeta's Family, of course, and then, obviously Hybrid Saiyans too. So, and then he'll also fit in well on that Bond of Master and Disciple team. So, I really, really do like this unit. I would not be mad if I pulled him. Although I will say I'm completely skipping this banner. Just going to throw that out there. You want to know what? Let's go over this real quick. 12 key multiplier 140%. His additional attack 100% is calculated separately for a total boost of 300% attack when performing a super, while his defense minus 50% nullifies his initial boost of 100%. So there you go. You definitely don't want to get hit with this dude after he supers attack, because after he super attacks, excuse me, it completely nullifies his initial boost of 100%. So just the way the math works out, right? But real quick, real quick, let's go over the banner, and I'm going to tell you why you need to skip this banner. Okay, so here we are. So forgive kind of the crude view. This is the mobile view, but we'll still get a good idea of what's going on here. But this is what the banner looks like. Just when you see this banner pop up, just avoid it like the plague, okay? Okay, so these are the units. So we've got Android 13, and we've got Trunks, who are obviously like solid units, right? But you know, there's a lot more coming, guys. I think what's going to tempt people is probably Piccolo. A lot of you more than likely did not summon for Piccolo. I didn't go hard at all. I think I did 4 multis or something like that. Did not pull him. Didn't get too upset. And then you've got Android 17, been on 100 banners. Jiren has been on 100 banners. Super Saiyan 4, Full Power Goku, been on a bunch of banners. Turles is a nice addition to the banner. And then obviously, like, this is only a 7-unit banner, so you don't have to worry about those decreased rates of pulling the unit you want. But I think, guys, coming up, I mentioned earlier, like, I would just spend my stones. If you want to spend stones, just wait 2 more weeks for the Spirit Bomb Absorbed Goku banner to drop. It might even just be, I'd have to double check, but more than likely it's going to be 2 weeks from the release of this banner. It could be as little as a week, though. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. I think it's going to depend. It's going to depend because they may want to squeeze in extra stuff if they still plan on giving us a global first unit. So we will have to see what happens there. But guys, just avoid it. Just avoid it. Even if you're a newer player, this is not a super great value banner. You've got 2 Androids leaders on here. You've got a Universal Survival Saga leader on here who has been replaced by Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. Now, if they do some shenanigans and change the banner up, if they throw Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken on this banner, oh boy, I don't know. That might convince me to summon, you know, but I don't anticipate them changing the banner. Basically, what they're doing with this banner is they're begging you to skip this banner. That's what they're doing. They're begging you. They're saying, listen, these units have been on a bunch of banners. You don't need Android 13. Target Goku is a nice category, but it's not crazy. It's essentially just like an artificial life forms category, you know, with a few extra units thrown in. You know, it's like I said, it's got the Brolys on it and stuff, but it's just, it is what it is, right? I mean, it's not a super hype category. You know, it's not like we're getting, it's not like this was their opportunity to get people to summon on Android 13. They could have made him an artificial life forms leader, and I think people would have been more apt to summon. But instead, they make this wacky category Target Goku, which is just like this pseudo artificial life forms category. So I don't get it. You know, and then also he's a combination androids leader as well. I don't know, man. I don't know. You got a movie boss's leader, a full power leader. I mean, that's great, you know, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, you guys will have to look. If you're a huge Android 13 fan, I'm sure there's, you know, one of you out there. I guess go ham. But for the rest of us, I would say just avoid it like the plague. That's the video, guys. Slap a like if you enjoyed it. I love all you guys. Thank you for the support. Catch you in the next one. Later.